And this morning I'm joined in studio once again by Bizweni Center, who takes care, educates, provides therapy, love, and just a lot of just community for kids with disabilities. Debbie always bringing some fantastic people to talk to, and today is absolutely no difference. I've got Washila in studio with me. Good morning, Washila.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming in, taking the time to come chat to us today and share your story. I really, really do appreciate it. And I think it gives our listeners a little bit of an inside view as to what Bizweni really does for families and community members. So I really do appreciate it. And with that, I'm going to start out and ask you to tell us a little bit more about your journey with Bizweni Center, how you got involved there and what led you to Bizweni.
Okay, so I have two sons with Lesch-Nyhan syndrome.
Okay.
Siraj is the eldest one. He was born in 2015. In 27, no, sorry, he was born in 2010.
Right.
Sorry. At
Too
about
many
5,
kids.
Yeah, too many kids. I'm a mother of 4, so too many kids. So at 5 months old, we realized that he had almost no head control. So we were in and out by the doctors. Eventually, we were referred to Tygerberg Hospital. And then at 2 years old, he was diagnosed with cerebral palsy.
Okay.
And then in 2013, we enrolled him at Bizweni Center. So he started his journey with Bizweni Center in 2013. And then in 2015, I had another son. He was born 2015. His name is Fawaz. And then in 2017 we applied at Bizweni Center for Fawaz to be enrolled as well,
right,
as he had exactly the same symptoms and all of that. He was also diagnosed with cerebral palsy. In 2017, that was in 2017. In December 2017, we did the enrollment interview, and then Chelsea was the one that did the assessment with Fawaz.
Yes.
And then she noticed a lot of similarities between Siraj and Fawaz, and there's a 5-year gap between the two.
Okay.
And but they basically looked like twins. Their facial features, everything was exactly the same. Symptoms were exactly the same. And she couldn't understand it. So the whole of December that year, 2017, she did a research regarding different types of syndromes that you get. And then in 2018, the beginning of the school year, the first week of the school year, she called me and my husband in, and then she came across Lesch-Nyhan syndrome.
Okay.
Which is so, for us, that was really a breakthrough, because every unanswered question that we had, that the doctors couldn't answer, Lesch-Nyhan syndrome basically answered. And so, we've been with Bizweni Center since 2013.
So
that was a huge turning point in our lives.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I know off air you told me a little bit about your first son went to Bizweni Center, and it was a week and you were hooked.
Yes,
just with
definitely.
The community and the care that Bizweni offers.
Yes,
and I think
it's unmatched. It's really unmatched.
When your second son arrives and there's someone who makes so much effort to really figure out what's going on there for you, it shows just the passion of the people who work there.
Definitely.
And the support that it offers. I can imagine that getting a diagnosis for your kids must have been a really a heart-wrenching kind of journey. You don't really know what's going on, so you're looking to professionals to help you kind of figure that out and put you on a path. If there are some other parents maybe in our community that are also, in search for some diagnosis or some explanation as to what's going on with their kids, do you have any words of advice that you can offer?
My advice would be, we knew something was wrong with Siraj from the beginning. I mean, at 5 months old, he had no head control. By that time, a baby should be able to sit on his own.
Yeah.
So when we received the diagnosis, that was the only day that my husband couldn't go with me to the hospital.
Okay.
So I was basically alone with Siraj. I got the diagnosis. He was phoning me the whole time. I did not want to answer my phone. I waited for him to come home from work to give him the news in person. And I can remember sitting on the edge of the bed, and I told him what the doctor said that Siraj, because that time it was still CP. So the doctor explained it's CP and there's nothing that you can do to make it better. You must just live with it and all of that. So I was sitting and I was waiting for a reaction from him. And he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, okay, is this now a macho thing? Because
Yeah.
you don't want to talk about it or whatever. And he was like, and I was like, but tell me, how do you feel? Because I mean, I was about to cry.
I can imagine.
Yeah. And then he was just, but his words to me were, we knew something was not right with Siraj. The only difference now is there's a name to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I promise you, if it wasn't for those words that he said, I most probably would have gone into a depression or, because he just said the right thing at the right time.
Yes.
So that is my advice to parents that just got a special needs diagnosis. It would be, just you knew something wasn't right with your child, like
Yes.
100% okay. So the only difference now is there's a name to it. So just look at the positives and then just take every day as it is.
And
or as it
name
comes.
and resources. I'm sure once you kind of know what's going on, you can start looking for the tools and the resources to help on that journey.
Yes, 100%.
And that must be life-changing.
Yeah.
You are clearly a very big advocate for your sons, and you work so closely with the school and the therapists there. Do you have any advice or tips or practical hacks for parents who have maybe kids with a disability or something?
Well, I don't have practical hacks, but what I would say is don't take yourself too seriously.
Okay.
That is, for me, that works. Be goofy, play around with them. It makes them so happy, and treat them as normal. Treat them as you would treat any other child, because they do have feelings. They might not show it, but they do feel the love. And they do feel the rejection. So be very careful. Just treat them as normal and just be goofy around them, laugh. You must be like a child with them so that they can feel your love.
I think
that is my, yeah.
Practical advice for everyone.
Yes,
I think
definitely.
when you're encountering someone who's maybe a little bit different, just be normal and average around them. But also then for parents with normal kids or normal ability kids, you've got to be there for them
100%.
in their space. Something that I would be interested in finding out, Washila, is your kids are nonverbal.
Yes.
The communication, how did something like that grow, and how did you develop a sense of communication with your kids?
In our household, we've got our own little language that we speak with them. I mean, whether it's a gesture or whether it's a look or whether it's, I know exactly what look means what.
Yes.
So my eldest son, Siraji, suffers from sinus, and he's got a way of pulling his nose. Like that. And then when he does that, I know I must actually go to him and scratch his nose. Just rub it a little bit, and then it's fine. So we've got our own little language, and so we do. There are certain phrases that they can say.
Okay.
So they're not 100% nonverbal, but it's sounds and it's looks and it's the way they point their eyes and gestures and stuff. That's our little language.
Isn't it interesting? Because isn't that basically language? They say 80% of it is mostly body language.
Exactly.
It's looks,
Exactly.
It sounds. It's words only get you so far, but communication is so much broader than that.
That's pre-talking.
Yeah.
So it's communication pre-talking, basically.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Sheila, before I let you go, anything else that you would like to share with us, or maybe even for people who feel maybe a bit strange about talking about kids with disabilities or really approaching the subject, what kind of words do you maybe have for us?
Well, what I would say is the more you talk about it, the better you feel about it.
Sure.
Because I can remember in the beginning when Siraj was diagnosed, before Fawaz was born, when Siraj was diagnosed, I didn't like to talk about it. It was almost like I was too scared to talk. I don't know. But the more you talk about it, the more you can learn from other people.
Yes.
And create awareness. So that would be my advice to parents. That's a little that feels a little funny talking about it. Just talk about it. You'll never know what somebody else has in common with you unless you speak about it.
I think what maybe comes to mind is, someone who hasn't had the experience that you have. I don't know if I have the right words to explain what I'm trying to understand or how my experience differs from yours. And so I think we clam up, we get scared because I don't want to say the wrong thing. But I think getting over that hurdle and
Yeah.
just saying as much as you can and figuring out that,
Yes,
that
definitely.
topic is important.
Definitely. I can remember in the beginning when somebody used to ask me, what's wrong with him? I got offended because there's nothing wrong with him.
Right.
But, I mean, as time goes on, you learn, there's a certain way that you speak to people, educating them because they don't know. So they're also just interested, but I mean, yeah, so then you educated them by talking about it and creating awareness.
I think it's so incredibly important, and I think that you are a wonderfully brave and just wonderful person to come and share and be vulnerable with us today.
Thank you so much.